Today, we will look at the digital condition that we experience every day, but often don't want to think about. So the condition that is known as the soft health, especially the red dot, or let us say notification about pending updates or patches on our devices during this message. So I will show you through some facts and figures that we ignore. This update is more of dangerous than what we think. So the takeaways I'll give in this presentation is going to be of three, which is going to be we will define how we maintain our devices. That is number one. Then the number two is going to be we will learn about the true meaning of the term soft health. And the last one is going to be you will learn why this is important. We often view these notifications as interruptions on our daily tasks. However, by the end of my presentation, I will help us to know that the little red dots as an integral part of checking the health of our digital workspace. So in order to understand the importance of this topic, which I'm talking about, the software health patches and the update. So we must first define what is software health. What did I mean by software health? It is an indicator of how reliable, safe, and stable your applications and systems are. And the health analogy, just as caring for our body helps us prevent sicknesses, and regular serving our software help us to identify issues before they happen. And the key benefit for it is health software keeps our data safe, enable you to run your software without crashing, and result in fewer disruptions to work. And it can be viewed as, let us say, basics of creating safe, productive environments, just as you wouldn't.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, ma'am, can hear you.
Oh, sorry, I don't know. I've been kicked out of the meeting. For how long I've been out?
And productive environment. And also, just like we wouldn't ignore a cough or cancel a physical checkup. So it should you know that overlook the signs of needing maintenance on your software. Healthly software doesn't simply mix functions. So we will examine the two main methods of maintaining its updates and patches, because that is basically what we want to talk about, is the updates and the patches to our software or to our systems. Understanding the updates and patches. Sometimes people interchangeably use both of these terms. However, maintaining health of your computer relies on understanding these two types of services have different purposes. Then let us talk about the update. To me, is the growth phase. And update creates forward by introducing new features, improving performance, enhancement, and overall usability. This includes features not previously available, improve usability of existing and functionality, and increasing compatibility with other applications on our systems. Because when we try to update our systems, it's going to make it work more functionable. Like the software you are going to put on it, how it's going to be working. Maybe you are trying to, maybe when you get an indication on your systems, then it's trying to let you like, okay, update these systems. It's going to make it work more functionable. And the patches are designed to support protections and stability of the system by providing solutions to previous identifying issues. So closing security holes through the use of patches. And the patches typically provide a solution via either a resolution or a box, fixing the security flaws or making necessary repairs to critical parts of your computer. Let us take, for instance, if software was considered like a vehicle, then an update would represent a new GPRS systems or better mileage per gallon of a fuel, and brakes issues that was okay. Brake issues, brake issues that has been fueled in the tank of a vehicle. Although both are important, the patch could be considered as the most critical or intermediate safety of the person using it. And these two services get you via specifically set of signals. The signals can be called let us say it's going to be the red dot. It's going to be the red dot. You most likely have seen it or had one show you on your computer screen, maybe in your task bar beside your where you indicate maybe your laptop is charging or your system is charging. That is mostly where you notice like, okay, maybe it's indicating for you to be like, okay, you need to update your systems, you need to patch it, or you need to do a security check on it. So you mostly like have seen it or had one show on your computer screen. However, that does not lead to red circle on your app icon or your system tree. Like these are several different meanings of pending updates that are three. Then there are three examples which I'll be talking about, which are the pending updates. Will be an update waiting to be installed on your computer. So it's waiting to be installed on your computer right now. Like you need to update it right now, because if you don't update it, you might not be able to do some activities on your systems. And secondly is a known issues we have been identified and the fix has already been made available. And the last one is a warning will be issued to you, telling you that take some sort of actions. This is not just some pretty decoration. You can't just ignore it. And let me elaborate, or the red dot is indicate that the computer has found an opportunity or either improvement or security, and simply waiting your approval, be implementing the necessary changes. It is like a direct line of communication between the developer and your desktop. So while we find it so difficult to just hit install when we fix already, so I'll move to the next slide, which is there are very human reasons why we hit remind me tomorrow or you choose to ignore it. Like one, it might be you are too busy, how your schedule are packed, and updates feel like interruptions simply cannot afford. And fear of disruption. We worry that an update might break some things that is currently working on or change a workflow we have finally mastered. And the other one is restart delay, the incompetency of disclosing all our tabs and program. To restart feels like too much of it. And the last one is it works fine. This is most dangerous assumptions we all believing that because an app is functioning or your system is functioning fine, must be secured. Must be secured. So we prioritize the immediate tasks over the long time health of our systems. Like we assume functionality equals to security, but house cannot have a working front door and still have a broken lock that lets anyone in. So while we delay feels like a time saver, let us look at the real cost of the chance of these choices. So to illustrate my stakes, like let us look at what actually happens when we delay these red dot movements. Like delaying updates creates real vulnerabilities that attackers actively seek out and exploit. And what are the common issues? Like when you don't make an update or you patch your systems when it is needed. Like we have security breaches, like unpatching vulnerabilities essentially are open doors for hackers to access your private data. And secondly is malwares and ransom. Like outdated software is primary target for malicious codes that can lock you out of your own files. And we have data losses, which is beyond hackers, unpatched bugs, and cause system crashes that leads to permanent data corruptions. And we have the system downtime. This is eventually a critical failure will bring all work to halt, destroying productivities and missing deadlines. So let us take a scenario of where a single unpatched box leads to ransom attacks. So suddenly, the 5 minutes you need to save by not uploading might even cost the company's days of downtime and potentially millions of data lost. So the inconvenience of an update is nothing to compare of total system failure. So, and in an office environment that does not just affect you, and in a connected workspace. So why it is matter at our work. So in a connected workspace, your individual choices has real effects across the entire organizations. Like the weakest link, maybe the security is only as strong as the single most vulnerable computer on your networks. And some are the unpatched devices. A single vulnerable computer, maybe when your system is not patched or is not updated, it is vulnerable. So attackers can be able to exploit your systems, get into your private data or your files on your system. So initial breach, there's one we call initial breach. An exploit gains a foothold on that one devices. And we have the lateral spread, which is the malware moves from that devices to other connected systems. Maybe in an organization where we have systems that are connected to each other, connected to the server, connected to systems, printers, and everything. So malware can move from devices to other connected systems. And we have the organization impact. This leads to widespread compromise and total downtime. And your laptop does not exist. The laptop does not exist in isolation. It is constantly taken to our servers, our database, and your colleagues' devices. If your red dot is ignored, you can't just leave your doors open. You are leaving the back door. The entire company is open because your system is connected. A system that is compromised can affect other systems connected to it. That is why updating your systems and doing a security patches on it is not going to save you alone. It's going to save the others that you are working with, your co-workers, in an organization you are working with, is going to save them a lot. And we have because we share the risk, we also share the responsibilities. Yes, if you're affected, others will be affected. That is where because you share the risk, you also share the responsibility together. So when our systems are interconnected, we have to adopt a mindset of collective defense. Here is the interconnectivity, because your machine connects to the server, customers' data, and vulnerability on your machines can spread to affected companies' operations. And secondly, we have the collective vigilance. Here is every one individual individual vigilance is what protects everyone's collective works. Like, we are a team, then just as we wouldn't leave the office physical front door unlocked overnight, and we can connect our digital door unpatched. Your red dot is a piece of computer large security puzzles, because you can't, when it's indicating for you to just update your systems, so it's trying to tell you like there are some things you need to secure before before there is going to be maybe a data breach or a loss of a loss of data protections on your systems. So how do we make this maintenance part of our routine without becoming a burden? So maintaining the software health does not have to be struggled. We can adopt these 4 types of habits to stay ahead. So the number 1 is enable automatic updates. So this is on for your operating systems and critical apps, so you can get protection without having to think about it. And secondly is schedule smart. You don't have to update the middle of the meeting. Set them into the store during your lunch break or after you log off the day. And the third one is restart when required. Security patches aren't finished until restart happens. So don't postpone this indefinitely. So then the fourth one is report issues. If an update does not cause a glitch, tell your IT immediately. This helps them to track patterns and find solutions to every problems. And automation is your best friend here. By scheduling a smart, you take the interruptions factors of the equality entirely. And finally, let us talk about how we help each other to build this culture. So to me, building the culture of a software health requires the collective effort. So the number 1 is going to be support your team. Sharing your experience with updates and helps less technical team members manage their services. And second one is model good habit. Promote security conscious behavior by being the one who keeps their systems up to date. And the takeaways is software health protects our work by safeguarding data and productivity. Secondly, it's updates and patches reduce risks by closing doors for attackers to use, because when it is being updated and the patches are being made, it's not going to let attacker to be able to access your systems. And the red dot means actions. So it's not just indicating for you to just see it as what is this thing bringing for me. It's telling you like there's something you need to activate on your system, there's something you need to protect on your systems. So not delaying it is a protection waiting to be activated, and everyone plays a role because security is shared responsibility. It does not mean I'm not into an IT or I'm not into cybersecurity before you know, okay, security, everyone has to be protected. So this is how you can protect yourself if you don't have the full knowledge of security, because it's trying to let you know like, okay, when you click this, it's going to instruct you like, okay, this is where you need to update and this is what you need to click. Then it's going to do it itself. And the conclusion is I will leave you with, let me leave you with this thought, like the red dot is not an inconvenience, it is a protection. So thank you. And I would like to say like, let's all do our part to keep our network healthy. So thank you. Before I ask questions, is there any questions for me?